Welcome back, everyone. If you've seen any of my videos before, normally I just rant about things that are bothering me. But today I'd like to read a column, a little bit from a column that I read from Stuart Doherty. The name of the column that he wrote was America's Impending Masterclass Dictatorship. I'm going to read a couple paragraphs from it, and then I'm going to put the link up in my box up here for you to read the article in its entirety, because it is a big-time eye-opener for anybody who is unaware of the government's out-of-control spending and the consequences of that spending. A lot of people in this country right now are under the delusion that Barack Obama is being fiscally responsible with implementing pay-go and pay-as-you-go and capping the budget. When everybody knows that he's increased the deficit, that he's increased the debt ceiling rather, he has increased the budget prior to capping it. So everybody knows that this is just a tactic to look fiscally responsible when doing the opposite. I mean, you're not totally stupid. We're not Harvard graduates, but it doesn't take a Harvard graduate to know when you're being lied to. It doesn't. Common sense overrides all of the intellectual gobbledygook that they're trying to sell you. You can't spend your way out of a deficit. I'm sorry, you can't. That's common sense, and everybody knows it. The rest of this stuff is lies and manipulation to get you to go along, or really to get you to sit down and be quiet. They know you're not going to go along, but they just want you to be quiet. And anybody who speaks out is ridiculed as a lunatic. Anyway, let me read a little bit of this. America's Impending Masterclass Dictatorship. The government has announced that during the fiscal years of 2010 through 2019, it will create an additional $9 trillion in deficits, an amount that is almost certain to be understated by trillions given the country's current economic trajectory. The government assumes that this vast additional deficit will be funded by others, such as the Chinese, as it is statistical fact that the United States will be incapable of funding it. Furthermore, with the budgetary equivalent of a straight face, the Office of Management and Budget reports in its long-term intergenerational budget projection that the United States government will experience massive non-stop deficits for the next 70 years, requiring the issuance of tens of trillions of dollars of additional debt. The OMB does not project even 1 year of surplus during the entire 70-year budget period. These deficits and debts are now so gargantuan that they have become surreal abstractions, impossible even for sophisticated financiers to begin to comprehend. The common citizen has absolutely no idea what these numbers mean or imply for his or her future. The people have been deluded into thinking that America's arrogant, egomaniacal, always wrong but never in doubt fiscal witch doctors and charlatans, including Greenspan, Rubin, Summers, Geithner, and I always want to say Ponce de Leon. Ponce de Bernanke has discovered a monetary fountain of youth that endlessly spits up free money from the center of the earth in a geyser of goodwill towards the United States. Unfortunately, this delusion is false. There is no monetary fountain of youth, and contrary to apparent beliefs of the self-defined man-gods in Washington, D.C., the debt and deficits are real, completely out of control, and 100% guaranteed to create catastrophic consequences for the nation and its people. When government representatives deliberately sell into slavery the citizens of a so-called free republic, they have committed treason against those people. This is exactly what has happened in the United States. The citizens have been sold into debt slavery, and they and their descendants can never escape. because the debts piled onto their backs can never ever be paid. Despite expensive and sophisticated brainwashing campaigns emanating from Washington, claiming that America can grow out of its deficits and debt, it is arithmetically impossible for the country to do so. The government's statements that it can dig the nation out of this fiscal hole by digging an even deeper chasm have become parodies and perversions of even totally discredited and morally disgusting Keynesianism. I love all these big words. The people no longer have elected representatives, they have elected traitors. The enslavement of the American people has been orchestrated by a pernicious masterclass that has taken the United States by the throat. This masterclass is now choking the nation to death as it accelerates its master plan to plunder the people's dwindling remaining assets. The masterclass comprises politicians, the Wall Street money elite, the Federal Reserve, high-end government, including military officials, government lobbyists, and their paymasters, military suppliers, and media oligarchs. The interests and mindset of the masterclass are so totally divorced from those of the average American citizen that it is utterly tone-deaf and blind to the justifiable rage sweeping the nation. Its gilding ethics of greed, plunder, power, control, and violence are so alien to mainstream American culture and thought that the masterclass might as well be an enemy invader from Mars. But the masterclass here, it is real, and it is laying waste to America. To the members of the masterclass, the people are not fellow citizens. They are instruments of labor, servitude, and profit. At first, the masterclass viewed the citizens as serfs. Now, they have raped and destroyed the national economy while in the process of amassing unprecedented wealth and power for themselves. They see the people as nothing more than slaves. One more. America's public finances are now so completely dysfunctional and chaotic that something far worse than debt, enslavement, and monetary implosion, terrible curses unto themselves looms on the horizon, namely a masterclass sponsored American dictatorship. Now I'm going to leave a link up here so that you can read this in its entirety. This is what's happening in the United States of America. These people are destroying this country from within. This is a silent revolution. And and the whole thing is to get the people, the middle class and the people of the United States disenchanted with the system so that they can destroy it, so that they can remake it, so that we will all be slaves. We will all be working for unions. Workers of the world unite. God bless America. Keep up the fight.